Come November and December, this Christmas tree farm will be bustling with people searching for the perfect tree for their home. However, what most don't realize is the amount of time and energy that goes into growing them, a process that, according to Barry's tree farm owner, Chuck Berry, takes several years.
Most people think of a Christmas tree farm, they just think of it at Christmas time. November and December are fun months, and then after Christmas, the work begins. It's just like any other crop. You have to plant it, you have to maintain it, and it takes probably about 5 years for these trees behind us to make mature age where they're ready for cutting. So today we're planting trees. We try to do that in January and February, try to get them in the ground and get them established before the drier months come. So we'll plant about 3,500 this year, about 4 different varieties, and it takes them anywhere from 4 to 6 years to mature.
The process, which you can see here, is a methodical one, which Barry says helps them better maintain the trees and their farm, as each crop is carefully measured and spaced out.
As you can see behind, the trees are in straight rows, and that's just basically for maintenance purposes. We plant everything on an 8-foot square, so you've got an 8-foot row, both ways. It just makes it look more uniform, easier to maintain with the tractor. We plant everything basically like a crop. Some farms may go back in between big trees and plant little trees. We plant everything the same size. So we push up stumps with the loader, clean the field, plow the field. It's like planting corn or cotton, just we don't get corn or cotton this year. We've got to wait 5 or 6 years for it to produce a Christmas tree.
As you can see, other than actually clearing the land, they do everything by hand rather than with machines, which Barry says helps them grow a better product.
We plant everything by hand. I mentioned that we plant on 8-foot squares. We don't plant with a machine. We just get a better product if we can manually dig the holes. It looks like a daunting task, but with a good crew and good weather, we can plant close to 2,000 trees in a day. Yes, we're digging them by hand with hole diggers, but the land is prepared and it doesn't take much to dig a hole big enough to put a gallon pot in. So it just pays dividends later on when everything's in straight rows and we've actually put it in the ground one at a time.
According to Barry, once they get the trees in the ground, the hard part is out of the way, as he says Christmas trees are typically low maintenance.
They pretty much hold their own. Once we get them planted, as long as we've got ample rainfall in the spring, then they do good. Most of the trees, drought doesn't affect them very much. Most of the time they just go into a dormant stage. They don't die, but you don't get any growth. So once these trees are planted, outside of maintaining with trimming or cutting grass or spraying fungicide, once the stakes are there and they're tied, they're ready to go. So, it takes a lot of work, but to say that they're high maintenance is probably not the case. The biggest thing to make a Christmas tree is the trimming. And if we didn't trim them twice a year, they would basically just look like an ornamental bush. And it takes that trimming to make that shape and to also make them thicker. So the more you trim, the thicker they get.
Reporting in Covington for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.